All right, let's talk about one of Southeast Asia's absolute gems for retirement, the island of Penang in Malaysia. We're going to jump right into a place where you get this amazing mix of culture, unbelievable food, and super modern living, all for a price that might just blow your mind. Let's see what it really takes to pull it off. So, here's the big question I want you to think about. Could you really spend your retirement in a UNESCO World Heritage City, a place known all over the world as a food capital, and not have to drain your life savings? Well, the answer is yeah, you probably can. Okay, let's just put a number out there. $1,100. Just burn that number into your brain, because that single figure is the key to everything we're about to talk about. And let's be super clear here. We're not talking about a bare bones, just scraping by kind of budget. Nope. This is the starting line for a genuinely comfortable life. We're talking modern apartments, going out, having a social life, the whole deal. So how on earth does that number work? So let's get into the nitty-gritty. This is where you see exactly how that money gets spent. And honestly, it's pretty eye-opening. What's so great is the flexibility. You can see you could even get by on a more frugal budget of around $850. But that sweet spot where most expats live really well is that comfortable range, somewhere between $1,100 and $1,700 a month. That gets you a nice modern condo, probably with a pool, eating out whenever you want, and just enjoying life. So what's the biggest slice of that pie? Housing. But the value you get is just incredible. I mean, think about it. A modern one-bedroom condo with a pool and a gym in a really popular area like Tanjung Tokong for as little as $350 a month. For most people, that's a total game changer. And here's one of Penang's little secret weapons. The electricity is heavily subsidized. What does that mean for you? It means your utility bill, even with the AC running, is probably going to be somewhere between $30 and $80 a month. That is a tiny fraction of what you'd be paying in other big cities in the region. Okay, so we get it. It's affordable. But what kind of life does that money actually buy you? This, my friends, is where Penang just leaves other places in the dust. Let's talk lifestyle. And that conversation absolutely has to start with the food. I mean, people don't call this the food capital of Southeast Asia for nothing. Famous food courts or hawker centers like Gurney Drive are a way of life here. You can get a plate of char kwai tao, a noodle dish so good it's recognized by Michelin, from a legendary street vendor for literally $1 to $3. You can eat like an absolute king for pocket change. Now, beyond the amazing food, there's this huge practical advantage. English is spoken pretty much everywhere. It's kind of the bridge language for everyone. So whether you're at the hospital, the market, or talking to a government official, you can get by easily without needing a phrasebook. That's a massive stress reliever. And that sense of comfort, of feeling at home, is something you hear over and over. This 70-year-old American retiree, Ward Charter, said it best. He said, "People say, oh, so Malaysia is your second home. I say, no, it's my only home." That really says it all, doesn't it? But of course, the fun stuff is only half the picture. We gotta talk brass tacks. For anyone thinking about retiring abroad, there are two giant questions you have to answer. What's the healthcare like, and how can I actually live there long term?
First off, the private healthcare in Penang is fantastic and so affordable. You've got internationally accredited hospitals like Penang Adventist, and a visit to a private doctor will set you back maybe $17 to $33. It's high-quality care at a price that, to most of us, just looks like a typo.
So, how do you get to stay and enjoy all this? Well, the golden ticket is the Malaysia My Second Home program, or MM2H for short. It's the long-term visa that makes this whole retirement dream possible. So, what's it take to get in? For most retirees, the silver tier makes the most sense. The big requirement is a fixed deposit of about 150,000 US dollars that you put in a Malaysian bank. Now, you do earn interest on it. There's also a minimum property purchase of about 130,000 US dollars if you go that route. Now, I know those are big numbers, but the actual process to apply is refreshingly simple. It's a really clear 6-step roadmap. You hire a licensed agent, get your documents together, get approved, and then you fly over to finish the last few steps. It's very manageable. Okay, but no place is perfect, right? So to give you the full picture, we have to talk about the downsides, the stuff you need to watch out for. There are really 3 main things to keep in mind. First, that MM2H fixed deposit is a big chunk of cash to have tied up. Second, if you enjoy a drink, you should know that alcohol is heavily taxed, so it's pretty expensive. And third, the traffic in the historic Georgetown area can get seriously backed up. Those are the real-world trade-offs. Which leaves us with the final question, really. The price of admission is a hefty visa deposit, but the prize is a life filled with $1 world-class meals, $17 doctor's visits, and a $350 condo with a pool. So, is that amazing lifestyle worth the upfront cost? Well, that's for you to decide.